Good morning, Canes fam. Welcome to Junior and the Big Dog, your favorite father and son duo covering Miami Hurricanes football and sports. I hope everybody's doing good on this Sunday morning. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't go crazy the way it did on Wednesday and people are actually getting the notifications and you guys could actually join us in the live stream to talk about yesterday's game.
They actually said that YouTube got hacked.
I don't know what happened. All I know is that
No, because I saw other.
yeah. Something was going on with
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah, it was all YouTube. It was they said YouTube got hacked.
Yeah. So, we're gonna go ahead and get into the Virginia Tech game yesterday, man. If you guys are new here by any chance, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so you get notified anytime me and the Big Dog do go live. We go live usually every single Sunday at 11 in the morning to recap the previous game that the Hurricanes played, and we also go live every single Wednesday to preview the upcoming game for the Miami Hurricanes at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Man, hit that like button. If you guys want to follow us on Facebook, check us out on YouTube. And if you're watching us on YouTube and you guys got our Facebook and you want to just chat with me and the Big Dog, check us out on Facebook as well, man. And please hit that like button. Best way you can help us out is to share the video to friends, family, whoever it is that you may know, to help grow the Junior and the Big Dog family. If you want to contribute financially, our PayPal's there, or you could contribute to the super chat, whichever way you so please. But with that being said, good morning, Big Dog. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling well. Saturdays are rough for me, but so my voice sounds a little under the weather. It's because physically Big Dog's having a tough day. But happy that we're 7-1. Not happy, obviously, with all aspects of our program in terms of performance wise, but we'll get to that. But happy, listen, it's much better to improve a program as you're winning than doing it the other way around. So that's the way I look at it, and you have to learn how to win these tough ones. You have to learn how to had a lot of guys out, apparently because of COVID. Um, when you're missing that many guys in key spots, and especially spots that were not the strongest to begin with, like offensive line, you're going to have that issue. But being able to win on the road, doing what you have to do when you have to do it, man, that's a big plus. So I'm happy about that. Let me do the roll call. What do you say, Johnny Utah? Nate, Kane in the desert, Mr. HD, what's a good word? Markenzie Matire. Oh, that's I wonder if related to Shaman Matire. The guy was actually from my old stopping grounds in North Miami, although he's played for Central afterwards. But I believe that I think we have talked to him before that there is a connection there. Obviously, it's not a very common last name. What do you say, Ben Pratt? Dr. Yu, Cesar, Brett. What do you say, Brett DeMonte? What's a good word? Chug more beer. What do you say, buddy? Let's go, Kane 7-1. I like it. G Blacken. I guess that's the G Blacken. Yep. What do you say, Hurricane T2 T2Y? What do you say? Rico B, Big K,
Hurricane T2Y.
Roddy, J Play. Yes, I actually lived. I'll tell you where I lived on 135th, and you know where 135th, Northeast 10th, and West Dixie. You know that apartment building there, right on the corner. I lived there for 8 years of my life over at North Miami. So, yep, absolutely. Jose, who am I missing?
Yes, sir. Tua versus Herbert today at 4:00 for the Fins, baby. I'm excited for that one.
There we go. So, everybody, good morning. Thank you guys for joining us. Yep, absolutely, a pioneer. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot to brag about in North Miami's history. Steve Carlton went to North Miami. Just want to point that out. But I have to go back like 60 years to find a Hall of Famer, and it's in baseball. So, but anyways, we had. But I'm glad all of you are here this morning. Yeah, actually, when Matire, he is. Mackenzie said that's his cousin. Yeah, you can't say little cousin Because if you say little, I mean, he might be your younger cousin, but he damn sure ain't little. Because that's a big dude. And I know with Matire, I know it's sort of, I think people got in his ear and telling him or either that or he just likes to play offense. But I think he has a really good future on defense. But, obviously he had something. Go Pioneers. There you go. Got Rick here with me. Rick Hernandez, the guy you see here in the chat, he was friends with me there. He lived a block away from the Frog Pond, right behind North Miami. So if you guys are from North Miami, you know what I mean about the Frog Pond. So, Rick and I actually go back way, way, way back to where we're 12 years old, which between you and I is well over 40 years, which is kind of crazy to me. But I never thought I'd be old enough to have a friend that I've been a friend for over 40 years.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I think most people probably don't have a friend for that long that they know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And probably Rick in his there was probably times in our youth he was pretty sure I was never going to make it to that age. Because a little crazy when I was younger, but that's all right. I did smarten up. Yeah, he was 138th and 138th and Northeast 8th. Yeah. So, anyways, so but go ahead. But yeah, listen, guys, I understand. By the way, can I just go off of one small tangent, one little tangent that has not related to Miami and football? I was watching the MMA yesterday, and it didn't matter at the end because the right guy got the decision anyways. Rafael dos Anjos against Paul Felder. But it makes me so angry. You have two judges had it 50-45, meaning Dos Anjos won all 5 rounds. Okay? Then one judge has it for Felder, 48-47. And so it didn't matter in the decision. And I love Paul Felder. The guy is tough as nails. But Rafael dos Anjos won basically all 5 of those rounds. And it bothers me that these judges, man, you guys have any idea how hard these athletes work in order to be there? And then you do stuff like this. I remember one of the MMA fights, Joe Rogan and somebody else were yelling at a judge because as the fight's going on, the judge was looking down on his phone. And it just bugs the hell out of me because those are people that don't know how hard it is to be an athlete at that level.
Right.
But anyways,
and that's the reason why I stopped watching boxing, to be honest with you.
No, boxing was ridiculous. I'll give you a perfect example. We both like Canelo, right? We're both fans of Canelo.
Yeah.
Triple G beat Canelo twice.
100%.
Okay. That's the stuff that drives me crazy because you're playing with guys that have worked their lives to get to where they are. And it just bothers the hell out of me. So anyways. Somebody said Pioneers, Chuck, Chargers. We got an NMB guy in our chat. Man, I hated NMB almost as much as I hated the Gators. So I don't know. I'm going to forgive you because you're part of the Junior the Big Dog fam, DCPG. So I'm going to forgive you for being a Charger. But anyway, my brother was a Charger, graduated in 76. So he graduated for NMB.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was, by the way, if you guys didn't know, that was the rivalries for North Miami were North Miami Beach and Norland. That was our big rivalry. So, anyways,
let's get into some Canes football, man.
Let's talk some Canes football.
I'm gonna start off like this. So is a win a win?
All things considered, yes. All things considered, yes.
I mean, you know what I mean when I say that.
Yeah, dude, I get it, but we're missing the left side of our offensive line, right?
I know.
John Campbell and Ja'Kai Clark were out.
I know.
Then you're missing backups.
The thing that is rubbing fans the wrong way. Okay, it's one thing. It's one thing for fans to be happy about a dub and whatnot. What's rubbing some people the wrong way, and I understand this, so I understand both sides of it. Is the players being okay with a win just being a win, eking out these victories because
But that wasn't we didn't. It wasn't Central Michigan we were playing. Now it
No,
wasn't Louisiana
right.
Tech.
Well,
It wasn't FIU.
I get it.
It was
But
Virginia Tech, who traditionally gives us tough games.
I get it. But you also got, you know, you got Manny doing the slip and sliding and stuff like that against Pitt. Jumping up and down. Came from behind against NC State. Came from behind against the cardiac canes. Frankly, the past couple weeks. And yes, I understand Virginia Tech was also missing, some players,
They were.
So this is what I would say. Okay. What's going on, Martin? So this is my
What
take
do you
on.
say, Martin? Thank you for joining us.
This is my take on things, man.
Yeah, but blood pressure was a little high, Martin, yesterday. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, so it's the cardiac canes, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they are the cardiac canes.
So this is where I'm at. Okay. We're 7-1. And we haven't gone through any Bethune-Cookmans or Central Michigans. Like, I understand that we beat UAB, but hey, when you talk about a group of 5 team, UAB is one of the better ones in the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
one of the better programs in the country for a group of 5. Yeah.
We didn't go through Savannah State, Bethune-Cookman, cupcake games that we have every single year, and we're still 7-1. I understand that some of the fans criticizing the players on saying, hey, a win's a win, whatever, it doesn't matter how you get it, people see that as, okay, they don't understand the standard at the University of Miami. And they shouldn't be satisfied. They shouldn't be happy with, just getting a W by 1 point against Virginia Tech, or just barely getting a W against NC State. Okay. Being in it, tooth and nail with Pitt. Obviously not beating Clemson, even though I didn't really expect that before the season started. I had my hopes this year because of the games leading up to Clemson. I thought that we had a shot, but we're not there yet, especially depth-wise. We're not there yet. But listen, man, we're coming off a 6-7 season. And this is something that I said on Wednesday. And I come from a different generation. So while I come from a different generation, I didn't live the glory days, that you did, Big Dog, and that other people in the chat have lived. So I understand that you guys understand that standard more than I do, because I didn't live it. I caught the tail end of it, when I first started watching football, but I was 10, 11 years old, so the 2001 Canes, I caught the tail end of it. And then, 03, 05, you had some really good teams, but and they were blowing out competition that they were supposed to blow out. But the Canes that I've known for the majority of my life have not been that standard. Now, my argument is that before you walk, you gotta learn how to crawl, right? You don't just spring up from a 6-7 season and all of a sudden you're world beaters and you're one of the best teams in the country and you're beating Clemson and you're competing for a national championship. I didn't expect that coming in, man. Okay, you guys gotta understand, especially you guys gotta weigh in a lot of factors, okay, before you sit back and criticize the mentality of a win is a win. Guys, at this point, this year especially, it's a benefit. It's a godsend to even be playing football, considering the pandemic. We almost had to call the game yesterday because of how many people we had missing. You see games every single week being canceled. Okay, you saw spring football get erased. Only a few practices gone. Summer workouts. A fall that was weird and that was shortened. So all of those things being considered. New offense, new quarterback, new offensive line coach. So many factors.
Receivers coach.
Huh?
New receivers coach also.
Right.
I mean,
So there's a lot of things, and I think that's where a win is a win mentality. I think it's clouded in some shape, way, or form. That I don't think we should be too concerned about these players being happy with a W, especially considering the circumstances that we're in, man. You're missing 11. How many was it? 11 or 13 of your brothers?
Yeah. I think it was 12 guys that we had up.
So and the game was kind of like iffy leading up to the week. Maybe being called off, and then you come from behind. You're winning these games that you would have lost last year, and then people saying, yeah, well, without De'Ara King, we would be whatever 3-4. Okay, right. Fine. What's Clemson's record without Trevor Lawrence? They lost to Notre Dame.
Right.
You could say that about any school. Okay, take away their best player, take away their captain, take away the QB, and you could say that for any team. Okay, right. But people have a problem with it because he's a transfer quarterback, and people would like to see us develop our own guy or our own recruit. Fine, I get all that. But that whole argument about, if we didn't have De'Ara King, that's why De'Ara King came here. And we're a top 10 team because of him and Rhett Lashley and, some of the changes that we've made. So I'm more, you shouldn't be like, oh my God, on top of the world because you got a W, but you should be happy considering all of the things that I mentioned, man. You're coming off a 6-7 season, my man. You're 7-1. Okay, and you're not playing any cupcake games,
right?
All right, people want to talk about Virginia guys. They're ACC teams that we have struggled with. We were favored by 2 touchdowns last year, and we lost.
Right.
We were underdogs this year, and we won.
Right.
Okay, so we're coming from behind, and we're pulling out these victories. Now, would I like to see the offense in the second half? Particularly the fourth quarter, not the offense, the defense, the way it's called in the fourth quarter is not the way it was called in the previous 3. And that's something that we said against NC State, especially the last 2 drives, the last 2 stops that we got against NC State. The play calling was completely different. The intensity was completely different from the defense. I mean, there are things on the defensive side of the football that we need to address. Baker, amongst other things, we'll go ahead and get into it. But I just wanted to open it up with that because I'm on Twitter. I see it, even though, guys, I'm not, I do my tweets here and there, but I'm not one of those guys that is tweeting a lot. I like just looking at stuff, and sometimes I don't like getting into the back and forth with a lot of people. I like Twitter because it gives me a pulse of our fan base. I'm able to see what the players are saying. I'm able to see what the coaches are saying. So that's the reason why I like Twitter. And it gives me a good idea on what people are feeling. And I'm bringing this up because it's one of the conversations. And it was one of the hot topics yesterday. Because you got Brevin, you got Nesta talking about, a win just being a win. And you got people, taking offense to that, saying like, no, man, a win is just not a win. They want the youth to be at that standard already. Man, you have to build up to get to that standard. Now, as long as that standard doesn't get lowered for any means, we're goody. All right. But you guys cannot expect to be blowing out teams by 20, 30, considering, I'm not going to repeat myself, all the things I just mentioned. We're getting W's, man. We're 7-1. That is something to be happy about. That is something to be excited about. Now, do we need to clean things up? Of course we need to clean things up. And hopefully, we'll see that, and we'll see what Manny does about that. Are we playing, pretty football at times? No, we're not, man. We're not. But we're scratching, we're clawing, clawing, and we're coming out with these W's, man. So it was an ugly game. I was nervous. But I never lost confidence in this team because I saw what they did against NC State. And I've seen the resilience of this team taking a punch in the mouth, excluding Clemson. Okay, but there was a lot of issues with that game that we've already discussed in the past. I've seen this team over and over respond to the bell, and not show quit the way they did last year. So even though we were down, and even though a lot of people had us even losing to Virginia Tech, I never lost confidence. And I thought, and I felt confident that we were going to pull that game out regardless. Even against NC State, when we were down 10, I looked at the clock and I was like, and the reason why, not only have I not seen quit in this team, and not only have I seen them respond to the bell, but considering the offense that we run being so up tempo, and I mean we could put together a 2-minute drive and put up 7 on the board. Where in previous years, that wasn't the case. So this offense could get clicking, run up tempo, and they could be in the end zone in 2 minutes or less. So that's the reason why I never, doubted that the Canes were gonna go ahead and win yesterday. So, um, yeah, that's basically my take on things, man. The Miami Hurricanes are 7-1, family. And listen, guys, if I would have told you, regardless of how we won, regardless of how the games went, okay, if I would have told you before the season started that the Miami Hurricanes will be 8 games in and their only loss was the one to Clemson, would you not take it? So why has the narrative and why has the tone shifted for fans?
The goalpost moved.
The goalpost moved for the fan base, and that's something that I don't understand, because my feet were planted on the ground before the season started. I said what I wanted to see. I wanted to see progression. I wanted to see the new offense. I wanted to see our young guys get some burn, get some playing time. We're seeing changes to Corey over Blades. To Corey is becoming becoming a man before our eyes, man. He's playing lights out. Okay. And so we're seeing a lot of shuffling. We're seeing the depth chart. We're seeing a lot of oars on the depth chart. Okay. We're not seeing the favoritism that we saw when it comes to the depth chart. Okay. We're seeing Manny opening it up.
Change of culture.
Right. The change of culture. Manny opening up, we were criticizing the wide receivers. Hey, somebody has to step up. He opened it up, and now Mark Pope is playing better. D. Wiggins is playing better. Okay. So we're seeing the changes that we wanted to see before the season. We're here sitting at 7-1, and the fan base feels like the fan base isn't happy. And that's something that is I'm having a difficult time coming to terms with, Big Dog. So if you could shed some light on that, man, and help me out, chat, or Big Dog, I don't know, man. Like, I don't get it, but we're 7-1, man.
Let's, if you can, I'm going to throw out some old head wisdom here in a minute.
I think I saw somebody. I got Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck Bobeer did a donation, and now Bergie did one too. So thank you, Chuck, and thank you, Bergie. But go ahead and read both comments, and then I'll put in my.
All right, Chuck, thank you so much for the dono, man. He said, "Doing the Big Dog take 7-1 over 6-7 last year. Even though we have ugly wins, there are still wins. Miami had 13 players out, but the defense had another strong fourth quarter. Let's go, Kane. 100%, man. 100%. I just wish the defense we saw in the fourth quarter is a defense that we see for all 4 quarters. That's my biggest take and my biggest criticisms. Offensive line. I know we were missing some starters, but man, DJ Scaife, my man. Whew.
Yeah, he's not playing well.
Like, man.
Not playing anywhere near where we expect him to play.
No, let me go ahead and get Bergies in here, and I'll go ahead and read some of your comments, guys. Good point, Junior, but the goalpost never moved. A lot of fans just chase the negative narrative regardless. It's the never happy with anything mentality. Yeah, I guess, Bergie, but the reason why I'm saying the goalpost move is because I'm seeing the narrative being changed by fans that were saying.
But that's what Bergie means, though. That's what Bergie means that they're intentionally moving the goalpost to stay negative.
Yeah, that's true, man. I get that,
and there's some reality to that.
That's a good point, man.
All right, here I'm going to give you some of my old head wisdom here.
Let's go. Help me understand, man.
As what happens with a lot of issues these days, both sides are wrong. Both sides are wrong, and I'll tell you what. Okay,
so I'm wrong.
No, not. Okay, I'll put it this way: both sides are wrong, and both sides are right. Okay, in that they both have something 100% true about their feelings, but they're also ignoring a little bit of the other part. So they're both doing the same thing. And here's why I'm going to say that. Okay. I can
exactly, OG.
I can remove my and I've always, I'm thankful that it's always been this case. I've always been able to remove my bias, my love, and put on a objective hat. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one thing that I don't even entertain discussion about. I don't even entertain discussion about because it's something that is 100% not even up for argument or debate ever. And that is that the greatest team in the history of college football is the 2001 University of Miami Hurricanes. There's no argument. Don't talk to me about any other team.
Mm-hmm.
38 players drafted, 17 drafted in the first round. Mm-hmm. 38 players drafted from one team. Multiple Hall of Famers. No discussion, no debate, no team can even get close to that. Okay? So the greatest college team of all time is the 2001 Miami Hurricanes, and that's not up for debate. And that is objective. Okay.
I mean, it's still subjective. But
No. It's objective. I mean, it's okay. Here are my numbers. Show me any other team in the history of college football that can get close to 38 players drafted from one team and 17 in the first round from one team.
No, yeah.
Nobody's close.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Hey, that team only beat Virginia Tech by 2 points.
That 26-24.
All right.
By the way, final score of that game was 26-24 as opposed to 25-24.
Right.
Ed Reed, okay, all-time great, all-time Pro Football Hall of Famer, College Football Hall of Famer. What is his most famous play as a game?
I'll say the one against Boston College, no?
That same year.
Yeah.
Right? In fact, at the same time as Virginia Tech. I think those were back-to-back weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? And we needed an all-time play because people forget. Boston College was driving down for the winning score. Okay?
Yeah, with so Uncle Joe, I think what was it, like 17-7 was the final score again?
It was
18-7
it was I think it was the final score was I think we were up 11-9 or 10-9. It might have been it was either or one of those things, and then Ed Reed got the you can look it up for me. I believe the final score was 17-9, if I'm not mistaken, against Boston College. Okay.
It was like 18-7 or something.
You might be right. It might have been 18-7. Maybe we were up 11-7. I think that's what it was because they couldn't do just a field goal. So I think you're right. We were up 11-7, and I think the final score ended up being 18-7 or 12-7. There you go. Okay. That was against a Boston College team that wasn't any good. The chat said 19-7. Yeah, so it was 12-7. Okay. But if Boston College scores, that was right at the end of the fourth quarter. If Boston College scores, they win. Yeah. Right? And we, of course, get the interception. Ed Reed takes the ball away from the D lineman, runs it back for a touchdown. Right? So those were back-to-back weeks, back-to-back games. We're talking about the greatest team in college football history struggled in back-to-back games against obviously inferior opposition. Virginia Tech was a better program than it is now. Okay, because back then that was the Michael Vick time. That was that time frame. But even though Virginia Tech, we struggled with Boston College, who wasn't having a good season. Right. So this idea that making it means blowing out every team, that's an impossible goalpost. That's an impossible bar that no team in the history of football has ever reached.
As good as hope.
Okay. So this idea that we have to blow out every single team in order to be back, that's never happened and never will happen. Mm-hmm. Okay. You guys remember, we've talked about it over and over again. Clemsoning was an actual term for teams that would play down to their competition and lose when they're not supposed to lose. Okay. And Clemson still has games, even though the program is where it is, they still have games where they barely beat. What was it? Last year was at North Carolina that it came down that they won by 1 point at the end and they almost lost. Okay. Every single year, there's a team that struggles with an inferior opponent. That is as old as football itself.
Right.
Okay, because there's some days that you're at your best. There's some days the breaks go against you. Okay, so that part of that argument is wrong. The flip side of that is this. Yes, that happens to everyone, but it doesn't mean that you change the standard. Meaning we should still want to go out there and dominate and realize that until we're at that point, because and this is why I wanted to mention the 2001 team. The same team that went back-to-back games, almost losing to Virginia Tech and to Boston College, because Virginia Tech, not only did we win by only 2 points, remember, they had a tying, a 2-point conversion attempt that they missed right at the end because they could have tied it up at 26.
Right.
Okay. So that same 2001 team in back-to-back games struggled against Virginia Tech and Boston College. That same 2001 team also beat Syracuse, who was highly ranked at the time, and Washington, who was highly ranked at the time, 66-0, I believe, or 65-7 and 58-0. So that means in back-to-back weeks, that team beat two highly ranked teams 123-7.
Yeah.
And both those teams were in the top 15 at the time, by the way.
Yeah.
They were highly ranked teams.
Yeah.
And we beat them by a combined 123-7.
And that same team almost lost to Boston College.
And that same team almost lost to Boston College.
Right.
And I don't remember Boston College's record that year, but it wasn't very good.
And for the record, we're not trying to compare the 2001 Miami Hurricanes to the 2020 Miami Hurricanes.
I'm just giving perspective.
Right. 100%.
That this idea that we have in our mind that every time that when the Canes were the Canes, every time they rolled the football on the field, we won by 70 points. That wasn't true.
Okay. Now
let me get to the flip side of that.
Right.
But the flip side of that is that's still the bar, guys. The bar is still that we want to be that dominant.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, we're 7. So that's why I'm saying both sides are right and both sides are wrong, because the bar shouldn't be lowered.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be we're 7-1. Everything is rosy. Everything, the grass is greener, the sky is bluer, the birds are singing. No. That the bar should still be, we want to dominate. We don't want to just win, because that's what it means to be a Cane. So you need to.
I'm with you, Yancy.
Instead of arguing, instead of butting heads, realize that both sides have a point and both sides have a blind spot.
Right.
Because we should always have the bar where domination and anything less isn't accepted. But at the same time, we should realize that every single team in the history of football has had a down game or down 2 games and found a way to win. That's what makes a team that's great, great. It isn't when everything is clicking and you win by 60. It's when everything isn't clicking and you still find a way to win. Yeah. And while we're trying to get to that level that we should be at, that we should not lower, it's awfully sweet getting wins along the way. Because we had the losses already. Now we're finding ways to win and not finding ways to lose.
Yeah. Okay. Jose, that Al Blaze, he actually did turn his head on that play. And that wasn't PI. That wasn't PI, man. That receiver grabbed him.
Well, no, and the thing is, the one thing I would say with Al is he turned around and then he turned back around and made it look like he was face guarding. And even though that's not what he was doing, because he was actually
Right.
waiting to see the receiver's hands move so he could swat at the hands.
Yeah. Yeah, but the receiver was holding out Blaze, big dog. Is what I'm trying to say.
No, I get that. No, he's the one. The receiver's the one that initiated contact. I get your point.
Yeah.
What I'm saying
it wasn't PI for me.
You have to understand that it's not just what it is; it's what the official sees.
No, I get it.
So if you see the football, but then turn back around and wait, and just like you have your hands ready to swat, it makes the official look like you're face guarding. Right. Like you're just trying to do this, and that you're making, and then when the contact is made, now mind you, the whole face guarding argument is one is a different component of it. But then you're right, the receiver's the one that initiated the contact.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it was a smart play by the receiver, frankly.
Correct.
He drew that flag.
And I'll give you a point. Where the receiver is initiating contact, it still is pass interference in that same type of play. What I mean by if the receiver turns around and the football's underthrown and the DB is doing nothing but just doing this in front of the receiver.
Yeah, you can't impede his progress back to the football.
You're impeding his progress back to the football, right. So it's still pass interference. That wasn't the case in that play because that play, the football wasn't underthrown. Right. And Blades swiped out his hands when the ball got there. The problem is once Blades turned around and saw the football coming, he should not have turned back around.
Correct.
And played the football. That's where his mistake was. So
agreed.
But that happens. But anyways, that's the point of this is that we are 7-1. And I much rather be learning these lessons as we're winning and getting better as we're winning.
Another thing that you guys got to realize, man, is you're not going to lose a recruiting class winning close games, being 7-1. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not going to see like you. I feel like some of the fan base prefers for us to possibly lose these close games and see the players be upset and Manny throwing a temper tantrum on the field. Like that's the fire that they want to see. But then, but you're not 7-1 then. Right. I just don't understand that, man. If you're 7-1 and you're winning these close games, and with all things considered, you didn't get. I mean, you still lost by a wide margin because Clemson pulled away late, but we were in that game for the majority of it. We were in that Clemson game. Okay.
Well, we were and we weren't. We were in that the score didn't get out of hand.
The score didn't get out of hand,
but it was obvious that we weren't really clicking and things weren't happening the way we wanted them to.
But still, big dog. Right. It was an 11-point deficit, obviously because of the blocked kick and whatnot. But regardless of, I'm just talking about purely the scoreboard. 11-point game coming out of halftime. You cause a fumble. You got a chance to bring it within one score, but you weren't able to do it. So, right. But and
for a good chunk of that game, we were holding Travis Etienne in check.
He broke loose. I mean,
then he broke, but he broke loose in the second half.
And so, but that's my point.
He had 9 carries for 30 yards up until that point.
Right, but that's my point. But it felt like we needed to. It wasn't as bad as that Clemson score wasn't as bad as it looked. I mean, I understand both points. But regardless, it wasn't the ACC championship Clemson game, or it wasn't the bowl games against Wisconsin. Is a point that I'm trying to make.
Put Martin Dubé's question up there. Comment up there. That's right.
Al Davis.
What was he famous for saying? Just win, baby.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Al Davis was. Just win, baby.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's my point is I understand both points of view. Okay. And if I'm Manny Diaz, I say to the team, I'm proud of you for finding a way. But remember, guys, this is still the bar. And our bar is Joaquin said dominate.
Right.
Okay. That's our bar. And that bar, and if I was Manny, I would play that Ed Reed speech every single week before the game.
Yeah, Hurricane Millie. I'll talk about Bubba
Yeah,
if
Bubba played poorly.
if we start talking about Gervin Hall first, though.
That's the problem. That's the problem. I don't know why. I think it's a local kid versus a kid from out of state type of thing.
Like, where's the where has
Right.
the
But
Gervin
we
Hall
hold
that we
Bubba.
expected to see? Where has that Gervin Hall been?
Right. And I think people are rough on Bubba, but then ignore other
Because not
guys
only has Bubba
underperforming.
been our best safety this year, he's been arguably our best player, period, on defense.
No,
Him and Jalen.
Jalen. And by the way, they're both transfers. They're
Well,
both
yeah,
transfers.
I know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I understand. You know, Bubba hasn't played up to his to his standard
Consistently.
because I'm sure that and he's done it before. He's gone to the coaching staff and been like, "Hey, that's not my best game. I got you on the next one," type of thing. Like, so he holds himself to that standard.
Right.
All right. So, hey, if there's one that I'm not going to, yeah, I guess we could criticize that he didn't have a good game, my man, but he's been a huge part of this defense, and he's been showing up for us all year, man.
Junior and Millie, that was just Junior's point. Yeah, that's just
it.
Junior's point. It's not he didn't play poorly. It's just it seems like we give our local kids a pass, and then the out of state kids.
I wouldn't say that we give them a pass. We give them a longer rope than we do.
Exactly. You're right. That's a better way of putting it. We give them a longer leash. We do give them a longer leash.
Right.
Yeah. Frierson. And I'm glad the chat is saying this because I've been screaming this for 3 years now.
Yeah.
That Frierson is a baller, and I have no idea. And by the way, you're right.
What
that is one of the local kids that doesn't seem to get that same treatment for some reason.
Yeah, he has.
But that's the thing that Frierson's been playing lights out, and he played lights out again yesterday.
Yeah.
And let's see, Stunner Boy says has a good comment. There seems like the out-of-state kids are a little more hungry than our in-state guys. Stunner, I have to agree. And that used to be the opposite. We used to recruit state of Miami because those guys were the dogs. And then the only guys that we brought in from the outside were offensive linemen or dogs or guys like us, Jeremy Shockey, a guy who just had that mentality to him. I mean, you guys know him. I mean, he has a popular radio show still, Brett Romberg.
Yeah.
We brought Brett Romberg from Canada, but he was a cane because he was a dog.
Yeah.
And he played like a dog. And yeah, absolutely, Gil Frierson is playing like at an elite level. Absolutely he is. Okay? Now, I wouldn't say he's been playing way better than Bubba. I would say he's been playing way better than Gervin Hall. That I would say because Bubba has played very well, really well in some games.
Sean T, we could put Carter at linebacker, but how long you think he's gonna last at linebacker?
No, the point is, if you're close to the line of scrimmage, you don't get those targeting calls as much. And you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
He did good yesterday, man. He tackled differently yesterday.
Yeah, he did, and hopefully, that's what I don't understand about Amari is. Everybody that knows him talks about what a smart, thoughtful guy he is. And man, how do you make the same mistake over and over again?
Right.
But it's listen, the whole thing of Amari being closer to the line of scrimmage, do I think that's his best? That is utilizing him in the way he's best suited to succeed. I agree with you. If that's the argument, I agree with you. But that's not an excuse for the targeting calls.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If the argument you want to give me is Amari Carter plays better when he's close to the line of scrimmage, I 100% agree with you. If the argument is it's the coach's fault for not putting him there while he gets the targeting, no, I don't agree with you there because that's not an argument.
Right.
That's not an argument.
Yeah.
So And that's the thing. And listen, again, we go back to we were missing a lot of guys. We had every excuse to lose. Virginia Tech was actually favored by 2.5 points. We were missing all these guys for COVID. We were missing not only our entire left side of the offensive line, we were missing backups because Jalen Rivers was out. Isaiah Walker's been out the whole time.
Campbell was out.
Campbell and Ja'Kai
Clark
were both out, but then we were also missing backups.
Yeah,
too. So we had every excuse to lose, and we didn't.
Man, I just want to know what happened to DJ though. Like, because I think DJ is one of our best offensive linemen, and I just don't know what happened to him yesterday, man.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he's not having the year at all that we expected.
I don't know, man. It was bad.
Yeah, that's what your tweet was, because I thought you were talking about DJ Ivy. I'm going, what two is he talking? Now I realize you were talking about DJ Scaife.
Oh, my tweet, yeah. I said that's two, DJ.
Right.
He gave up 2 sacks, and it was all on DJ.
Yeah.
Where he just let the guy pass right by him, and then he's there like blocking air.
Yeah, we made. I mean, man, you went a good player, but we made you look all world.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and DJ had a part in that. Yeah.
He looked like he had concrete in his cleats, big dog. Like I don't know.
His feet well at all.
Oh yeah, that wasn't DJ Junior. That was a clone. Yeah, man, it didn't look like and that's it didn't look like him out there. I was like, what's going on with you, my man?
Yeah.
Whew.
And I'll tell you what, I am really disappointed because that's a guy who I thought was going to take a huge step forward this year. And my mentality on it was, man, he's been such a good team player. Plug him in a tackle, put him back at guard, which is his natural position, put him back out to tackle. We've played around with DJ so much.
At this point, big dog, do you think he's a better guard? Because
he's a better guard, he is, but that doesn't mean that he's playing well as a guard. But the thing with DJ is, I thought this year, finally they're gonna leave him alone at guard. And he's at the right guard, and boom, that's your position. We're not going to move you. And
100%, Cesar.
He hasn't dominated at all, like I thought he was going to.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's just frustrating. It's just frustrating. But at the end of the day, like I said, we're getting the W's.
That was
more help is on the way.
Hey, we were calling on X.
Yes, that was X.
We're calling on X, and nah. Let Gervin has been the one that's looked the best.
Yeah, so far I leave Gervin back there. Gervin back there because X has made some really bad decisions.
Gervin is looking a lot better as a punt returner than he is as a safety.
Well, no,
that was some shade. That was some shade. I'm kidding.
He hasn't played consistently like the guy that made Nick Saban land his helicopter on their practice field.
Yeah, no.
We haven't seen that Gervin Hall that we expected, and he's in his 3rd year now. So we should be seeing that Gervin. He still played well at times, and at times he's been a tackle machine and made got guys on the ground a lot. But we haven't seen that spectacular play from Gervin that we expected.
I'm kidding, Stunner Boy. That was a jokey joke.
Yeah, you were just joking. But we got a donation.
Wait, I missed it. Damn it. Rod the GOAT. Yo. What's going on, Rod? Thank you for the dono, man. How many times is bigger going?
That was my point, Brett. Brett says,
"Oh my God, curveball." Curveball. We saw that in the first series, man. Third and short.
Curveball, 3rd and 3, and you're playing soft zone. I'm going, what are you doing? And fortunately, the play was actually called back because it was called back. But even before they threw the pass, I'm going, why are we in soft zone on 3rd and 3? I got so angry at that.
And what's up with these super delayed blitzes that we're seeing, big dog? What's up, Swerve? Swerve from Honolulu, Hawaii.
What do you say, Swerve? Thank you for joining us. Hey, what time is it in Honolulu? This has to be really early for you. I think it's like 6 a.m. over there.
No, it's not that much, is it?
Yeah, I think it's 5 hours for Honolulu. It's 3 to California.
Maybe.
I think it's 5 to Honolulu. Yeah, the linebackers are. Although I will tell you, Bradley Jennings made some nice plays yesterday.
He did.
He really did. He did some. There was a couple of plays that could have broken long if it wasn't for Jennings.
Yeah. So
playing sideline to sideline. So he actually played pretty well yesterday.
Yeah, it is 5 hours and 5 hours behind in Hawaii.
Yeah. So it's 7, almost 7 in the morning.
Good early morning.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
It's crazy because I think Phillips got held the least amount of time. He still got held, but he still gets held. He still gets held, but he didn't get held as much, and you saw what he did.
Exactly. What do you did they credit him with 3 sacks?
2.5, I believe. 2.5, like 4.5 TFLs, like 8 tackles. He had a game, man.
Yeah, he's just dude is a beast.
Dude nasty Nesta. It continues to impress, man. He's balling out. Nesta's balling out for sure. I think Ford had
the 2 guys on the secondary I was most impressed with yesterday was Gil Frierson and Takori.
Oh, 100%.
I was really impressed with both of those guys. Those 2 guys are dogs. Yeah, Yancey, what about Yancey? Here's what I don't understand. You got a punter who played Australian, who's the holder, by the way, in that, Headley holds for kicks, who's 6'4", 240, okay, who played Australian rules football, who was used to running with the ball in his hand. And you got poor Jose Borregales, who's 5'10", 205.
Yeah.
And you pick Jose to run the ball.
Yeah.
I don't mind the fake kick, but man, have Lou.
I don't mind the call there either.
What's that?
I don't mind the call.
I don't mind the call, but have Lou Headley run the damn ball. Don't have Jose run the damn ball. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, the Kane City Cartel brings it up, and this is something that's kind of what I'm talking about. About these blitzes coming off the edge, man.
Kane City, I'm so glad you said that, man. I'm so glad you said that, because that's one of the things that I know. The last show when I got on Blake Baker, I meant to say it, I didn't. So thank you so much for bringing that up. Even the blitzes seem to come from the same places all the damn time.
All the time.
All the damn time.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff, man, that just it drives me batty. It drives me nuts, because it's things that should be picked up automatically by the coaching staff.
And I forgot who it was coming on the blitz. I don't know if it was to Corey or if it was Gilbert, but there was like 2 straight plays, him blitzing, on the left side, and then like I think it was like a 3rd down, he blitzed again, but he faked coming from the edge, and then he went all the way around to try to come on the middle, and I'm just like, my man, you're not gonna get there in time. Right. Like you're just not gonna get there in time.
Especially on a 3rd and short where they're gonna get rid of the ball fairly quick.
Right. So I don't.
Yeah, absolutely. Put Brett Varner's comment up there. People need to remember that how much Phillips and Quincy stay on the field, man. Jalen and Quincy stay on the field a lot, and I'll tell you something, man. There's a lot to love about Quincy Roche. There really is, man.
Yeah, there is.
He gives you that dude gives you all out effort every play. So does Jalen, for that matter. So I'm not, Brett. That's the thing about Baker. I don't like it. I know a lot of guys in the chat have been saying that. I don't listen. I'm not. You guys know I'm not one to have knee jerk reaction.
I don't think Cam's 100% curveball. I think that's what's going on with Cam, but
he does run stiffer though, but he might not be 100%.
He doesn't look like he's 100%.
Yeah, you're right.
Like even when he comes off the field, like you could tell he doesn't look like himself.
But I do think that Chaney needs more burn.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chaney needs more burn, and I think we have to start giving him some of that burn. I love. Don't get me.
The most impressive runs were from him yesterday.
Yeah.
I know some holes did open up early for Cam.
Oh, for Cam, right.
Yeah, but Chaney,
The thing what I like about Chaney is this: is that every single run of Chaney's, it looks like he gets the maximum amount of yards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When he
Yeah.
gets brought down, you're like, okay, he got every bit of yards that was out there.
Yeah.
And he does that consistently.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about Chaney.
I think the only reason why we haven't seen, because I think Cam is our best blocker.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is
Frankly,
one of the main.
I don't think that's even close.
Right.
I think Cam is definitely the best blocker at this. And listen, that's to be expected.
Well, of course.
Chaney and Rooster are both freshmen. They're both two freshmen. So that's something that you pick up along the way. And Cam does pick up blitzes better and
100%. But you see,
not as good as DJ though. Not as good as DJ Dallas.
Yeah, but DJ was like one of the DJ was amazing at picking up blitzes and blocking, man.
Yeah, but Cam is the best one. Not probably. He is the best one at that now.
How about DJ's getting TDs, baby, in the NFL?
Yeah, he is. I'm so happy to see that, man. I'm so happy to see DJ because, man, you want to talk about a positive Kane. That dude, man. There's a lot to love about DJ Dallas, and I hope he does get that look for him. Yeah, Lenoris, he does absolutely. He does remind me of a Frank Gore.
Yeah.
Not DJ. He was talking about. I think he was talking about Chaney. I believe that's what he.
Mario, my only problem with that is why does it seem that it takes Baker until the fourth quarter to finally get it right in terms of calling a defense?
And Martin, here's the thing: just like in a player, I hold the coaches to the same standard. And what I'm not seeing with Baker,
Virginia Tech didn't do anything. It wasn't like what team did we play that they ran a completely different offense, big dog, this year? That it was hard to prepare for something like that.
The Virginia one, with the three different quarterbacks that they had.
Yeah, with the three different quarterbacks and like all these. Right. That's hard to prepare for.
Yeah, but we still played that pretty well, actually.
Yeah, we did.
There, the advantage that he has is that he keeps things so vanilla.
Right.
Because all that trickeration doesn't really matter because he plays vanilla.
Right. So, but like my thing is that Virginia Tech didn't do anything different yesterday than what they've been doing all year. You understand what I'm saying? So the preparation needs to be there from the beginning, and the defenses and the adjustments that we're seeing, it just feels like, especially against NC State and against against Virginia Tech yesterday, it felt like. Damn, when we needed a stop, we got to stop.
Yeah.
Okay, because there was a sense of urgency, and there was a sense of fire, and there was a sense of it was just different, and the play calling was different. Bringing more pressure, not dropping into zone, not playing the wide receivers 8 yards off the line, which we were seeing early on in the game, man. I mean, really, dude.
There is one thing
you don't trust your DBs that much that you need to be playing them 8 to 10 yards off these wide receivers.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. You're right.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you're right, and especially in situations that it doesn't call for, because you're not protecting third. If you do that on 3rd and 18, okay, I get it. If you do that at 3rd and 3, I don't get it. And it's funny because the announcer said, and all they did was run a hitch pattern. No, they ran 3 hitch patterns. And the quarterback could have thrown it to all 3 because all 3 of them were open.
Right.
Because we were playing a soft zone on 3rd and 3. That drives me crazy. Absolutely, guys. Thank you, Richard, for saying that. Please hit the like button. We got 154 right now in the stream. And thank you all for joining us on your Sunday morning, man. That means a lot to us. Thank you. Absolutely. And DCPG says something too, because that put his comment up.
Yeah, 100%, man. What's up, George? Can we give the wide receivers love for their sideline footwork? Big time shout out to Rob. Like, they're so great at that. Yeah, man.
And let me tell you, and you guys know
listen, Mark Pope is finally starting to show.
Yep.
Well, he said it himself. He's starting to feel like Mark Pope, and we're starting to see it.
Yeah, and we've been critical of them, rightly so.
Even though if Wiggins would have caught that,
he was so gone. If he would have caught that skinny, he was so gone. And I'm not talking about the one in the end zone, guys. I'm talking about the one earlier that he was open and the ball was right here. It hit him right here, and he handcuffed himself and dropped it.
And even he was like,
"Oh my god!"
Because he knew
that was fixed.
That was a foot
so
race,
fixed.
and you ain't gonna catch D Wiggins.
You ain't
Sorry,
gonna catch D Wiggins. Yeah. That play was over as soon as he catches that ball. He was gone. Yeah, that wouldn't hurt. But you know what?
But we didn't see as many drops yesterday.
No, and Hartley did have a bad drop too yesterday.
Yeah,
but
that was for a first down too.
Yeah, that was for a first down. But at the end of the day, they've stepped up their game. They've stepped up their game big. And just like I gave them criticism when I thought it was warranted, I gotta hand it to receivers. We are seeing them create separation consistently. I still like to see them stack their DBs. They're not stacking their DBs, and I know for a fact Likens teaches that. I know for a fact, and we're not doing it. Where when you have that deep pattern, stack that DB behind you, and they're not doing that consistently enough. But anyways, they are much better. They're really showing what they can do, and hats off to the wide receivers. They're stepping up. I would like to see
and to Likens, man. I mean,
Likens too.
It's promising. It's promising moving forward to know that we're seeing improvement from our wide receivers, and that goes. Obviously, they get credit because they put into work and they're just listening to the coaches. But the coaches got to get the credit, when the credit's due, and Rob Likens, deserves some of that credit, man. So it's a good thing to see when you see progression. And from our wide receivers, and you see things being addressed, and you see things being corrected. So
and they're running their patterns, and they're coming back to the ball when De'Ara King starts scrambling. The wide receivers play has been substantial.
Hey, Orange and Green Blood. I don't know if has he been in here?
I haven't seen him. Cohen, it's all about the U, Cohen.
What's up, Orange and Green Blood?
Good morning, buddy. But anyways, let's start taking some questions. Thank you guys. Please hit that like. We got them up to 92 now. So thank you so much.
All right.
And please keep hitting that like button, guys, if you haven't already.
Yeah, 156 people on a Sunday morning isn't bad, man. Yeah, not bad at all.
I'm so appreciative. I know there's some of our guys, go to church and stuff on Sunday mornings,
which is
we obviously
much more important.
Much more important than and I don't want to ever, discourage that. So I get it.
Yeah. Hey, Brian, I'll tell you what. Hey, if Clemson loses one more game,
does need help. I mean, does need to get better on that too. You're right.
Who does Clemson have left?
That's the problem is when you looked at their schedule, man, I don't see any.
I know it's wishful thinking, but whatever.
I don't see any else. Our hope was actually for Clemson to beat Notre Dame.
They got Pitt and they got Florida State. Hey, maybe Florida State could pull off the upset against Clemson. Hey,
dude, I think Ellie is
she just looked at me and she just rolled her eyes.
I think Ellie is playing. Your wife is playing quarterback for FSU next week.
Oh man, hey Bergie, have fun at the pool, man.
Oh yeah, enjoy it, man. And Bergie,
they got Pitt. I mean,
hold on, Bergie. I thought you liked Junior and the Big Dog, man. You do know I'm in Ohio right now, and even though we've had some really nice weather and high temperatures recently. It was in the 30s yesterday, and now you have to rub it in that you're going to the pool. Actually I did go to the pool yesterday because we went to the Y, which has an indoor pool, of course, and took my little guy.
So listen, man, they got Florida State, then they got Pitt, then they got Virginia Tech. Crazier things have happened, man.
Yeah. But Trevor,
how nice would it be?
Trevor can't get COVID again, can he?
No, obviously we wouldn't want that to happen. But I'm saying, I know. Like, hey, how nice would it be for Clemson to drop one more, the Canes to win out, and us play Notre Dame for the ACC championship? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that would be for me. That would be we're in the college football playoffs. Because we'll take Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think we'll be Notre Dame too.
Yeah, but I just don't see Clemson losing again now, especially if they get Trevor back.
They had a little trouble with Boston College yesterday. That was a game that people were trying to see.
If Notre Dame could lose,
Yeah, that was one of the
they
ones.
did struggle a little bit with Boston College.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what it is, man. So
That's all right, Bergie. You have a good one, man. Enjoy your Sunday, and God bless you and the family, man.
yeah, so just quickly, man, just some quick little stats, man. Total yards, we had 386 to Virginia Tech's 362. Passing yards, 255 to Virginia Tech's 202. Rushing yards, 131 to Virginia Tech's 160. We got 26 first downs to Virginia Tech's 23. We were 6 for 17 on third down. 1 for 2 on fourth down. We ran 86 total plays.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good number.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say is this: when people are talking about
we did have 8 penalties for 77 yards, though. Virginia Tech only had 2 penalties.
Yeah, that's that hometown cooking. That we always seem to always be on the road when it comes to that, because it doesn't matter if we're home or not. We always get the penalties called against us. But anyways,
yeah,
I do want to say
good morning. Good morning.
One thing here, and that is,
good afternoon now.
I get that the Heisman goes to the best, supposed to go to the most outstanding player in college football.
I'll take that too, Martin.
But I'm going to throw this out there, and people can take it for what it's worth. The most valuable player in college football is named D'Eriq King, period. Most valuable. I'm not talking about necessarily most outstanding. Most valuable player in college football is named D'Eriq King, period.
Wow. Okay.
You take D'Eriq King away from us, what's our record? The damn sure ain't 7-1.
Okay. But I mean, that's
5-3.
I guess I see what you're saying, but I mean, you take Trevor Lawrence off of Clemson, and you think they're gonna win a national championship?
No, probably not. But they're still Clemson. If you take Trevor Lawrence off that team, they're probably still whatever they are. Are they 6-1 or 7-1?
They are
7-1.
Yeah,
same like us.
Yeah.
Okay, you take Trevor Lawrence off of there, they're probably still 7-1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Here's another thing. I understand Ed Reed is a big chunk of this. I understand the 2020 recruiting class is a big chunk of this. What player has most changed the culture in a positive way for a program than what D'Eriq King has done with Miami? Do you remember that one, Junior?
Yeah,
about change of culture. Yes, you could say give credit to Ed Reed, give credit to Manny Diaz, give credit to the 2020 recruiting class. But the guy who most has changed the culture of our program is D'Eriq King. So to me, the most valuable.
This is the MVP right here.
Look at that.
This is the MVP right here.
What do you say? I know he can't hear me.
He just woke up.
Hi, it's Grandpa.
He just woke up.
What do you say, Zeke? Yeah, you got that sleepy face still.
Oh, yeah.
Mwah, 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 mwah.
Say something. Say wizard.
Oh man.
Yeah, all of our transfers have been major. And that's one of the criticisms that we see from fans as well, is that how come our transfers are the ones that are showing out the most and our actual recruits are not, you know?
But I think a lot of the 2020 recruits who are local do bring that culture of effort, of dogs, of ballers. To Corey, Gil Frierson.
Right.
So we have local guys that are dogs. It's just, you're right. A lot of the transfers are ones that a lot of them that have brought the heat. And D'Eriq King has been a leader in every aspect of that you could ask for. And I just think, I mean, the most valuable player in college football is De'Aaron King.
That's good. That's a good point.
You know, and listen, I get it. He's probably not gonna. I mean, I hope he's one of the finalists for the Heisman. He's not going to get the Heisman, but he is a baller, and he is a leader, and he is all those things that you want for a quarterback. And I'm hoping, I am so holding out hope that we might get him back next year, because I think if we get him back next year, it's on like Donkey Kong.
We might,
because we might make that roll. We might make that move, and we might challenge. We might challenge, because
I don't know, big dog. I don't know, man.
If De'Aaron King comes back, you could have a lot of other guys decide to come back.
True.
You know, I mean, listen. I don't know. I don't think he's going to do it. I don't know if he's going to do it. But man, would I love to have him for another year? I love to have him for another year?
Me too.
How would you like that game against Bama next year, starting off the season, to have De'Aaron King under center? But anyway, yeah, I just
maybe
think
he comes back. I mean, I don't know, man, because I think next year he's gonna have less competition when it comes to the draft.
What's that?
I think next year he's going to have less competition when it comes to the NFL draft of QBs going into the 2022 NFL draft.
If you look, the first two picks are going to be Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields.
Right.
So, I mean, that and then you have other quarterbacks in there too. I just think putting another season on tape as a QB at the Power 5 level, I think benefits De'Aaron King of a team doing a Kyler Murray. And just saying, you know what, we're going to take a shot at him no matter how short he is, no matter what. Because, I mean, obviously, I know it is. And Kansas City says that's a reach.
What's a reach?
Oh, no, I think he was talking about somebody was saying about the Florida-Bama game.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping King has a shot at him. We have a shot at King coming back. But anyways, you guys want to do some rapid fire before we get out of here? Because I know you gotta go feed the babies.
Yeah, let me get the baby girls before we do the rapid fire. Oh. Sorry, your sister gotta get some camera time too, man.
Hi there, Livy.
There's
the princess. There's the princess.
Hi.
She looking at daddy.
Yeah. She's daddy's little girl, man.
That is awesome. God bless him.
I want if we can't get to the ACC championship, I want
the Gators.
I want the Gators. And the orange. Give me the bowl game.
Yep, I want the Gators.
When you were rocking that Santa Little Big Dog, you remind me so much of my dad.
Yeah,
dude, I don't think your beard has ever been that long, man.
Yeah, it's up there. It is definitely up there.
My goodness.
Hey, but at least I'm trimming it. It's not starting up on my eyebrows, at the bottom of my eyes, all the way down. I'm at least keeping it somewhat clean.
It looks good. Looks good, man.
I definitely got the Santa look going on for sure.
Yeah.
Say hi, Livy. All right, you guys want to do some thank you, Orange Green Blood? Yeah, she's awesome. They both are amazing. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we got 3 generations right here.
Yeah, sir. It's going good, Jonathan. I said, what's going good, Jonathan? What's good, Jonathan? All right. Over trash in high school. Yeah, he was.
He was. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Trash was his backup. Yeah, but that kid's a baller too.
He set an SEC record.
Well, no, and here's the thing:
he threw what, like five touchdown passes yesterday.
I want George and the other Gator fans here. Okay, I want you guys. We haven't seen his Captain Trips. I wonder where Captain Trips is at.
I don't think we've seen that much on Sundays, but and Wednesdays it was the whole YouTube thing was acting up.
Yeah, But the one thing I will say to the Florida fans is this. Now, can you guys admit that Felipe Franks wasn't all that? Like we were telling you, he was not all that.
Yep.
Because now you have a quarterback who is much, much better, even though he couldn't start ahead of our guy. I just want to point that out. But Trask is a hell of a lot better quarterback than Felipe Franks was. So, and when we kept telling you guys, oh, good. When we keep, I know Captain Trips always joins us, so I know I just noticed he wasn't there today. But Trask is a much better QB than Felipe Franks. And we kept telling him, when you guys were talking about Felipe Franks being a Heisman candidate, we were like, "You all kidding, right?"
Yeah, but Trask is not. Trask is definitely
is a legit Heisman candidate. Yeah,
especially this year.
That dude's a real. Yeah, he's a real deal quarterback. He really is.
George says Felipe Franks.
When we were telling you guys that, you guys were defending him that he was a first round draft pick and he was.
Yeah, I remember that. And we
were like, "Who? Are you guys serious? You guys really thought he was that?" And that's the thing, man. That's the thing. So I did want to point out. Now you guys got a legit quarterback. That dude is a legit QB.
Yeah, he is. Yes,
he can throw the ball 80 yards. And you know what? The hefty lefty, who's no longer with us, he passed away at a young age, but obviously there was some health issues there. But the famous hefty lefty from Kentucky could throw it from his knees. They say he could throw it 100 yards. Doesn't make him a great quarterback. And that's the thing with Felipe is Felipe was never a great quarterback.
Yeah.
So,
all right, man. So let's go ahead and start wrapping this up.
Yep.
Yeah. Canes are 7-1, and at the end of the day, I mean, we'll see if we even have a game next week. Frankly.
Oh man, keep your fingers crossed. I really don't want to miss any games.
Yeah, it's not looking. I mean, we'll see, I guess. But we got Georgia Tech next week, Wake Forest the week after, and then we got the finale against North Carolina.
Yeah, we keep talking about North Carolina, and we got to pay attention to Wake Forest. We got to bring in against Wake. Wake's a much better team than people think.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, man. Listen, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday morning, man. We really do appreciate it, man. If you guys haven't done so yet, please hit that like button on your way out. If you're watching this on the rewatch, on the replay, man, hit that like button as well. And if you're not subscribed yet to Junior the Big Dog, man, and you want to join the Junior and the Big Dog family that delivers you great Miami Hurricanes football content, man, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get notified anytime the Big Dog do go live. We go live every single Sunday at 11 in the morning to recap the previous day's game. If the Canes for some reason play on Fridays, then we'll do it the next day. We don't do it the same day because there's a lot of people that have their own post game shows. So in order not to step on anybody's toes, we go ahead and just do it the following day. And it gives you, I like doing it the following day because there's no knee jerk reactions right after a game. You're able to really analyze the game, think about things, go over stats, go over some film before we go ahead and do the recap for you guys. So I actually like doing it the day after, to be honest with you. And we also go live every single Wednesday, if I didn't mention it already, at 7 p.m. to preview the upcoming game. We cover recruiting. You'll see in our library a bunch of recruiting breakdowns of the 2020 class, 2019 class. Did we do the 2019 class, Big Dog? Or
yeah.
No, yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did the 2019.
Yeah, but so it's in our library. You see in our playlist, man. We do a recruiting breakdown with actual film from Huddle, so you guys can get a good look at the guys that we got coming in, man. We're going to be doing that, obviously, for the 2021 recruiting class as well, once the season wraps up. So be on the lookout for that, man, and subscribe. Join us on Facebook as well. So yeah, man. Hey,
Lenore's had a great comment. He said that he isn't worried about Wake Forest. He's worried about the next game, and that's exactly right. And Lenore's, not only is that true for the players, I think it's even true for our Canes fans, is let's worry about one game at a time and not get ahead of ourselves. Absolutely. And you're absolutely right, Lenore. That's good advice.
We haven't done anything that has earned us the right to look forward to anything. We got to take things one game at a time, man.
Oh wow!
And
Thank you, Birmingham Kane. Birmingham Kane with the big donation, man. 25-24. I love the
I like
donation
it.
number. Thank you so much, Birmingham.
How about them Canes? All about the youth. Thank you so much, Birmingham Kane. Really do appreciate that, man.
That deserves one of these for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Birmingham.
Thank you, man. George, thank you so much. Have a great day between the big dog and Zeke. Thank you, guys. Yeah, hopefully our players get healthy, man, and hopefully we're able to see our Canes this weekend. Regardless, we'll be here on Wednesday, man, to preview that game and just to chop it up with you guys. So yeah, man. Like we said, thank you guys so much for joining us on and spending your Sunday morning with us, man.
Absolutely.
So, and
Absolutely.
go Fins, baby. We got a big game today
That's
at 4
right.
o'clock. You got Tua against Herbert.
This is the big dog bowl because you guys remember how much I was on Herbert, that I wanted Herbert instead of Tua. But so this is the big dog bowl.
But let me tell you something. This Miami Dolphins team, hey.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Hey.
They play with so much effort and so much tenacity. I fell in love with the Dolphins team like I have with my Heat team. Is because they play that same way. They play with guts and courage and tenacity and perseverance and all those things, and character, all those things you want to see.
Yeah.
And Brian Flores, and it's not like we said that last year. I mean, like we say that this year because we're 5-3. We said that last year
because we had no business winning 5 games.
With that team that we had last year, we had no business even getting close to 5 wins.
You remember the first, especially after the first game where the Ravens, like Lamar Jackson threw for 25 touchdowns, and just in the first game,
Hollywood Brown is still running,
and he's
still running with the football.
You had people like what's this dork's name on ESPN?
Which one? There's so many of them there.
Yeah, there really is. But he was talking about
that we were going to be winless. We were going to be 0-16.
No, not just that, but they're criticizing us on tanking and how they're putting players' careers at risk with the players that they're trotting out there, and they should be fined. And Dominique or whatever his name is. There was a bunch of them.
You mean the guy that he was big with the union? I know you're talking about. Yeah, he was. I think he played for the Ravens. In fact. Oh my God, what's his name? He's a big big deal with the players union. Anyways, I know Whatever. You mean. I know you mean. Yeah.
But he was like disrespecting the Dolphins and saying that that we should get fined and a whole bunch of stuff, and then we went off to win 5 games. And it's funny because when the Cleveland Browns were doing that, or when the Lions were doing that, for so many years that they sucked and they didn't even win 1 game. You never heard it, but then the Dolphins do it, and it's like this thing with Miami teams, man. And
let me tell you, Brian Flores should have gotten some votes for Coach of the Year last year.
Let me tell you something. I don't know what it is about these Miami teams, or maybe just Miami. Okay, but there's this thing that people don't like Miami football team.
Yeah, definitely the Canes most of all.
Yeah, Foxworth.
But they are. Dominique Foxworth. That's right. Dominique Foxworth.
That idiot. Okay, like the crap that
he was saying that the Dolphins the franchise should be fined.
Yeah, he was saying a whole bunch of crap.
And that we weren't going to win any game. That we were trotting out guys that don't even belong in the NFL and all that stuff. And Brian Flores found a way to win 5 games. And by the way, players coming in and out, I think we ended up the number 1 team in the league in fewest penalties against them.
Right.
Which shows you what Brian Flores is all about. That dude we got ourselves a coach. We got ourselves a coach.
That coach is changing for the Dolphins. And
that culture changed.
Yeah, it already
changing. It changed. Yeah, every single game you could count on 100% focus and effort from the 100%. Dolphins.
So yeah, man. Brian Flores. All right, big dog. Let's go ahead and get out of here, man.
All right.
So yeah, as always, man. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And
as always, it's all about this you.
You guys have a great weekend.
Enjoy your Sunday, guys. Thank you so much.